Honorable Speaker, Chief Minister, Ministers, Leader of Opposition, and honorable members. It is my honor and privilege to address this august body of representatives of the people of Kerala, marking the beginning of the 22nd session of the 14th Kerala Legislative Assembly. My government has been facing a catena of challenges ever since it had assumed office in May 2016. The pandemic has considerably impeded the normal social life in the state. All countries in the world are facing the challenges posed by the pandemic in differing degrees. My state has almost 9% of its population living abroad. The impact of the pandemic has been quite severe on the state economy. I would like to remind the honorable members that I am doing my constitutional duty, and it is expected that no obstruction shall be created while governor is performing his constitutional duty. Kerala receives remittances from abroad to the tune of 12% of its gross state domestic product. The coming back of around 6 lakh emigrants will hamper the flow of remittances, and this will dampen the robust private consumption expenditure of the state. A direct consequence of this is a downward slide in the economic growth of the state. Expert committee appointed by my government has estimated the loss in GSDP for financial year 2020-21 at a phenomenal figure of rupees 80,000 crores, which is about 10% of GSDP. At the national level, also the economy is expected to record a negative overall economic growth for the first time since 1979-80. The deep dent faced by the economy is bound to adversely affect the revenues of the government at various levels. The state governments, including that of Kerala, will face the double whammy. You have already raised, you have made it known. Please let me do my constitutional duty. Let me do my constitutional duty. The state governments, including that of Kerala, will face the double whammy of lower own tax revenue collections and reduction in the devolution of central taxes due to the economic downturn resulting from the pandemic impact. Along with reduced revenue inflows, the expenditure burden of the state has also gone up. This has led to a difficult fiscal scenario in my state. It is highly gratifying to tell the world at large that my government has taken up this challenge squarely and has lined up its promise that no one shall go hungry during the lockdown period. This was made possible with the active participation of local self-government and community volunteers. Community kitchens were opened in all parts of the state to provide food to the needy. It was ensured that our guest workers got food of their choice. The treatment for COVID-19 is being provided free of cost in all government hospitals in the state. Essential commodity kits are being distributed to all ration card holders holding families free of cost. The lockdown claimed to prevent community spread of COVID-19 undoubtedly disrupted the economic activities like trade, commerce, and industry. Kerala was the first state in India to announce a pandemic relief package to the tune of rupees 20,000 crores. Besides disbursing welfare pensions promptly, my government ensured that all families in the below poverty category who are not getting any kind of pension got a one-time assistance of rupees 1,000. Around 15 lakh families got this through direct benefit transfer. You have already raised enough slogans. Please let me do my constitutional duty. Don't interrupt me. My government also came up with innovative ideas like Subhiksha Keralam package in agriculture and allied sectors. Besides being a source of income to thousands of families, this initiative also boosted the morale of the people. My government announced a 100-day program on September 1st, 2020. This program encompassed a number of sectors. A major highlight of this program was the initiative to generate 50,000 job opportunities within the program period. I am extremely happy to share with you the fact that we have exceeded the target and generated 116,440 job opportunities. We have also declared floor price for 16 items of vegetable produce in the state. This will go a long way in incentivizing vegetable production in the state. My government believes in continuous accountability to people. Every year, the progress in the implementation of promises made in the election manifesto is being placed in the public domain. Likewise, the progress in implementation of the 100-day program has also been made public. My government is now implementing the second 100-day program. My government announced a 12-point program on January 2020, and I am happy to inform the August House that excellent progress has been made in its implementation. It was intended to create a community volunteer corps with a strength of 3,43,000, implying one volunteer for every 10,000 people. The response of the youth has been quite enthusiastic, and we now have the strength of more than 3,73,000 volunteers. Their service have been extremely valuable during the pandemic and also during other emergencies. My government has initiated steps to give systematic training to community volunteers in disaster management. As regards containing COVID-19 pandemic, the efforts taken by my government has won acclaim across the world. But we do not intend to rest on our laurels. My government is fully aware that we have an arduous task ahead. We have to bring down the test positivity rate to 5%. We have to also bring down the number of new cases reported per day. The case fatality rate in Kerala at 0.4% is the lowest in the country. We are conscious of the fact that with an aging population, we are at a great risk. With active participation of local self-governments, public sector health institutions, community volunteers, and personnel of various government departments, we are hopeful that Kerala will be able to contain the spread of the pandemic. My government has been consistent in devolving powers to local self-government. We have conducted elections to local bodies in the face of the stiff challenge posed by the pandemic. We have been able to ensure that campaigns and the voting process was done in accordance with COVID protocol. My government has been able to get renewed confidence of the people in the recently concluded elections to the local self-governments. My government is committed to ensure that the first position accorded to it by Government of India for effective democratic decentralization is retained in future also. Our federal polity is facing challenges from various quarters. My government has been in the forefront of defending the principles of federalism. which is part of the basic structure of our constitution. We have been taking up with the government of India all issues involving rights of the states. Kerala has taken the lead in raising genuine demands in the fiscal arena, like raising the borrowing limit from 3 to 5% of the GSDP in the wake of the expenditure commitment after the incidence of the pandemic and getting GST compensation due to the states. My government has also demanded that donations to the Chief Minister's Distress Relief Fund may be treated as expenditure eligible to be considered for corporate social responsibility spending under the Companies Act 2013. My government is committed to defending the spirit of the Constitution, which is the cornerstone of Indian democracy. My government is committed to foster the constitutional values among the citizenry. We have been in the forefront of defending secular values when apprehensions were raised regarding the consequences of the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. We have taken the lead in alleviating the fears among large sections of the society. My government is fully committed to strengthen the secular traditions of Kerala and shall strive to promote secular and progressive values in the social, cultural, and political spheres. My government has never compromised on the view that cooperative federalism should be meaningful and the center and the states should be equal partners for a harmonious development process. Anything which runs counter to this does not conform to the federal principles. The center, states, and the local governments occupy important positions in a federal polity, and their freedom to function effectively in their assigned policy domains should be respected. Actions of certain central government agencies have overstepped the constitutional contours and are impeding the development and flagship programs undertaken by the state. This has had a demoralizing effect on honest and hard-working officers. In such a situation, cooperative federalism will lose its content and remain only in form. My government has made this position abundantly clear before the public and its communication with the center. Presently, we are facing hardships in the economic front due to the severe adverse impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. But my government has been taking proactive steps to mitigate the rigors of COVID-19 pandemic and revive various sectors of the economy which have been adversely impacted. We are determined to revitalize our economy and make sure that adequate employment opportunities are generated for our people, including persons who have been compelled to return from abroad, leaving their jobs. My government, which will be completing its 5-year term in May 2021, has all along been committed to the infrastructural development and inclusive economic growth. We have undertaken infrastructure development projects worth 56,000 crore rupees through Kerala Infrastructure Investment Board. My government has hiked social security pensions to 1,500 rupees per month from 600 rupees per month. We have also made sure that the pensions are disbursed every month to the beneficiaries. Constraints have not stood in the way of making our promises a reality. Under the Livelihood Inclusion and Financial Empowerment Mission project, 250,000 families have got secure houses. My government is committed to create an excellent investment climate in the state so that entrepreneurs will consider Kerala as their investment destination. We have made good strides in providing a legislative framework for making doing business in the state easy. My government has also taken steps to motivate officials to process requests for investments speedily and in a transparent manner. My government believes in strengthening the public sector, and our efforts have shown good results. We expect that Kerala, which occupies a pride of place in human development indicators, will become a state which will be the destination for manufacturing sector too. Steps to combat COVID-19 and related woes. A control room was set up on January 24, 2020 at the Directorate of Health Services to supervise and coordinate the activities across the state. 24/7 COVID-19 war rooms were established to facilitate essential travel and address the doubts of people stranded during lockdown, including 5 lakh guest laborers working in Kerala. Kerala was the first state to initiate an exclusive information, education, and communication campaign to create awareness about the spread of COVID-19 through the Break the Chain campaign. The campaign was initiated as early as February 2020. This campaign went a long way in creating awareness about the steps to be taken to arrest the spread of the disease and earned accolades for the state. Additionally, campaigns to create awareness through posters, videos, and presentations were also designed. Training to health and staff of other line departments and volunteers were conducted. Training materials have been hosted on Kerala Health online training YouTube channel, official websites, and are also disseminated through emails and social media platforms. The Kerala Epidemic Disease Ordinance 2020 was notified on March 27, 2020. The comprehensive management of COVID-19 in the state covered all the 3 aspects of healthcare: preventive, curative, and rehabilitative. A well-established governance structure was put in place by my government to combat COVID-19. A core committee chaired by Honorable Chief Minister, a crisis management group, and core group chaired by the Chief Secretary, the action group headed by the Principal Secretary Health and Family Welfare Department to coordinate agencies at state level ensured a smooth facilitation of COVID-19 management activities and timely intervention in resolving issues on a day-to-day basis. At the district level, district collectors spearheaded COVID-19 management activities by coordinating health, revenue, police, and other departments in conjunction with local self-government. Ward level rapid response teams were set up under the aegis of concerned local body, the fulcrum responsible for community participation, general awareness, and compliance. The preventive management strategy is relied on the Indian Council of Medical Research protocol of testing, isolating, and treating. Adequate testing facilities were ensured in all the districts with the involvement of the private sector. Disha helpline centers were set up in all districts. Psychosocial support calls were made to COVID positive patients, persons under quarantine, patients facing psychological and psychiatric challenges, children with special needs, guest workers, and elderly people living alone. COVID-19 step: screening, testing, education, and prevention. Kiosks were established with a view to ensure accessibility of citizens to testing facilities, especially at the points of entry such as airports, border areas, railway stations, and other transit points, shopping malls, etc. Step kiosks were also started on the way to major pilgrimage stops like Sabrimala. As part of curative management, treatment support to patients was given at their homes. COVID first line and second line treatment centers and COVID hospitals. To strengthen human resources in CFLTCs, hospitals, and public health systems, my government established COVID Brigade and solicited support from volunteers and enrolled them to boost the existing human resources of the health department. These volunteers were given extensive training and they played an active role in aiding the efforts of the government. Community health volunteers, ASHA and Anganwadi workers ensured care of elderly and persons with non-communicable diseases through regular home visits. The volunteer groups at Panchayat level made house visits to extend support to the people under home isolation. Community kitchens were started across the state for distribution of food to patients, those in quarantine and isolation, and other needy people. Attention is also given to post-COVID care and management. Post-COVID clinics have been set up for the management of patients with post-COVID symptoms. These clinics are set up at peripheral hospital level and referral clinics are set up at the taluk, district and general hospitals and medical colleges. Disha 1056 helpline and district mental health project teams supported by a more than 1200 member fleet of professionals including counselors ensure their psychological well-being through this phase. While the health department led from the forefront, all other departments played strong supportive roles. Revenue, police, LSG rose to the occasion by taking up appropriate and relevant roles in all the non-treatment areas of COVID-19 such as enforcement, community kitchen, quarantine centers, screening, elderly care, and all allied matters. The Revenue Department has been playing an important role in the mitigation of COVID-19 pandemic by way of coordinating all the activities necessary for managing and controlling the COVID-19 pandemic at the district level. Tehsildars were appointed as incident commanders at taluk level, and they performed all the activities such as setting up of control room, general observation, data collection and follow-up action, identification of building for CFLTC, welfare of guest workers very effectively. The local self-governments have played a critical role in the containment of COVID-19. They have coordinated the field work of community surveillance, supported people in home isolation or quarantine, ensured regular supply of food and medicines, managed community kitchens during the lockdown period, conducted strong IEC campaigns, and are now managing the COVID first line treatment centers and the domiciliary care centers. They have made substantial contributions in the overall effort to combat the pandemic. The efforts of the police department also have been quite valuable. They played an important role in enforcement of lockdown measures, ensuring social distancing at public places, ensuring that people follow quarantine and isolation. The police ably assisted the district administration in successfully maintaining containment zones. In the wake of the adverse impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economic as well as social sectors of the state, my government has implemented several economic measures for providing relief to various sectors of the state economy. A package of rupees 20,000 crores was announced, which included payment of various types of arrears, front-loading of entitlements, and interest-free consumption loans to the poor through Kutumshri. From September 2020 onwards, the welfare pension amount has been enhanced to 1400 rupees per month. It has been further hiked to 1500 rupees per month from January 2021 onwards. The total financial commitment on account of the disbursement of welfare pension during the current financial year will be around 8,000 crore rupees. My government also disbursed 1,000 rupees to each member beneficiary of all welfare fund boards functioning in the state. An amount of 355.39 crore rupees has been disbursed to 31.68 lakh beneficiaries under various welfare fund boards through direct benefit transfer. Free ration worth 300 crore rupees was distributed to all families affected by COVID-19 pandemic. My government has decided to provide supply of essential article kits to all ration card holders through the public distribution system outlets. This is still continuing. The monthly financial commitment for this is around 400 crore rupees. These kits consist of essential food grains, pulses, cleaning materials, and other necessary items. The government of Kerala undertook the mammoth exercise of providing food and essentials to 84 lakh families. This was extremely beneficial during the lockdown period. Special kits were distributed during the festival seasons. This was an important measure that my government took to ensure food security to all sections of the population during these difficult times. The contribution of the Food and Civil Supplies Department in successfully undertaking this massive task deserves a special mention. The service provided by the staff of Kerala State Road Transport Corporation during the pandemic is praiseworthy. The corporation ran a stream of services to all parts of the state, ferrying Pravasi passengers returning to Kerala from abroad to quarantine centers in a seamless operation that was appreciated by one and all. The implementation of a new scheme, Chief Minister's Entrepreneurship Development Program, to encourage entrepreneurship in the state is underway. The scheme has set a target of financing 1,000 units annually with totaling to 5,000 units in the next 5 years. The total fund requirement for providing loans under the program is 1,500 crore rupees, which would be raised by Kerala Financial Corporation. Similar programs have also been launched by other industrial promotion agencies and Kerala Bank. Kutum Shri is also undertaking a 4,000 crore rupees package to ease the difficulties inflicted by COVID-19 pandemic. It is providing 2,000 crore rupees to Kutum Shri neighborhood groups in a scheme named Chief Minister Sahayata Hastam loan scheme with the help of Kerala State Financial Enterprises. Kutum Shri is currently in the process of providing laptops worth rupees 2000 crores to students to make online education more effective in the backdrop of the pandemic. My government can justifiably be proud of the achievement of the smooth conduct of the elections to the local government institutions, despite the constraints imposed by the pandemic. I congratulate all the personnel involved in this exercise, which has again demonstrated the efficiency and commitment of the administrative machinery of the state. The work done by my government has received national and international recognition. Kerala ranks first among all states of the country in the Sustainable Development Goals Index prepared by Niti Aayog. The SDG Index intends to provide an aggregate assessment of states and union territories, indicating the social, economic, and environmental status of these states. Kerala has been ranked first in the first and second SDG index of 2018 and 2019. Kerala has been adjudged the best governed state in the country in the Public Affairs Index 2020 prepared by Public Affairs Center. This is the third time the state has stood first in the country. The health sector has been acclaimed nationally and internationally in its efforts to improve infrastructure and service delivery. The initiatives of my government, spearheaded by the Health Department in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic, have been recognized globally. Kerala is the only state to have reduced the infant mortality rate, which is now equivalent to many countries of the developed world. The state won the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan Award 2019 for the state with the least maternal mortality rate. The top 12 family health centers in the National Quality Assurance Standards are from Kerala. 55 family health centers from the state received NQAS accreditation. The state won the National Award for the empowerment of the differently abled in the year 2019. The Kerala State Handicapped Welfare Corporation was selected as the best state channelizing agency by National Handicapped Finance and Development Corporation. The Responsible Tourism Mission and Tourism Department received several international awards, such as the World Travel Market and Asia Pacific Travel Association. The Smart Bus Initiative, launched as part of the Seamless Transportation System for Kochi Transport Integration Project, won the Best Urban Bus Service Award at the Urban Mobility India Conference organized by Union Ministry for Housing and Urban Affairs. The state again ranked first in the National School Education Index by Niti Aayog. The COVID pandemic has resulted in serious economic disruption affecting both the supply and demand sides of the economy. The result has been collapse in the aggregate demand in the economy, resulting in the severe economic contraction. According to International Monetary Fund, in the first quarter was severest in India, with an economic collapse of 23%, while the global average was around minus 10%. There has been a recovery in the economic growth during the second quarter, but the contraction persisted at 7.5%. According to RBI, the overall economic growth in 2021 is expected to be negative at around 7.5%. My government is of the opinion that the response of the Government of India to economic collapse has been inadequate in terms of the net additional overall budgetary expenditure, and particularly the expenditure for relief and health care. The reluctance to pay the GST compensation in full created an avoidable controversy during the crisis. Even now, for the full compensation, the states have to wait till 2023. The additional borrowing permitted for the states has been subjected to conditions which is also unprecedented. The economic decline has impacted unemployment and reduced participation rate to alarming level, as against global average of 66%. India's participation is only 40%. The Global Hunger Index has ranked India at 94 amongst 107 countries. In contrast to the growing hunger index, India's 50 richest people grew wealthier by 14% during the current year so far. The inequalities have widened. It has been the endeavor of my government to swim against the above trend. The central government has been systematically increasing the additional special excise duty of petroleum products so as to harness the entire potential surplus created by declining international oil prices. The additional special excise duty on diesel has increased by 9 times and petrol by 3.5 times. Now that crude oil prices are firming up, the central government is now enhancing the additional special excise duty so that the oil companies are raising the retail prices for maintaining their margin. As the result, fuel prices are rising, contributing to inflation. Thus, we have a situation of rising prices along with severe economic stagnation. Another adverse impact to the state finances is that additional special excise duties, which are being continuously hiked, do not form part of the divisible pool of taxes shareable with the states as per the recommendations of the Finance Commission. There has been Also a spate of central legislations whose common denominator my government holds is abridgment of state rights. The latest in the series have been controversial labor code and agrarian laws. There has been an all India strike of the workers, which is one of the largest of its kind, against the new labor bills. These agrarian laws will undermine regulated markets, result in eventual demise of minimum support price, and tilt the balance of bargaining power definitively in favor of corporate middlemen. Kerala, being a consumer state, is also going to be adversely affected by the amendment of Essential Commodities Act 1955 and the resultant hoarding and profiteering. Agriculture and allied sectors, crops. The withdrawal of import duty and regional trade agreements have proved calamitous for our commercial crops, and their relative prices have continued to decline, creating severe income loss for the farming community. The central government has refused to give any additional support for our commercial crops, whose crisis is a direct outcome of the central government policies. The strong protest has compelled the central government not to join the regional comprehensive economic partnership for the time being. My government feels that Kerala has to be unitedly vigilant against any further regional trade agreements that undermine our agriculture, and also persuade the central government to provide at least a partial support to our rubber growers. Subhiksha Keralam campaign was launched by the Agriculture Department in association with 9 other departments to ensure food security to mitigate the COVID-19 crisis. It seeks to bring the fallow lands under food cultivation and achieve self-sufficiency in vegetables, egg and milk production, and enhance fish production. Block-level knowledge centers were started in 152 blocks to provide technical support to farmers under this campaign. The Subhiksha Keralam campaign will be converted into a scheme with separate budget provision to provide permanent support to the farming community. Jeevani, Our Farming, Our Health campaign was launched on January 1st, 2020. Jeevani Kerala Farm Fresh Fruits and Vegetables Base Price is a new scheme for procurement of 16 selected vegetables and fruits at a minimum base price, remunerative to farmers. This scheme is the first of its kind in the whole nation and will help protect farmers from price fluctuations. Vegetable cultivation has witnessed a quantum jump, with total area under cultivation reaching an all-time record with a total production of 15 lakh tons. Credit-linked projects taken up by youth and NRI returnees will be provided financial assistance bearing a portion of the project cost along with an interest subsidy component. Additional interest subvention is proposed under Agriculture Infrastructure Fund of Government of India. Other components proposed are assistance for credit-linked agricultural projects taken up by youth clubs and Karshika Sanchayika program to develop interest in farming and also develop saving mentality among students. The rain shelter project, which is also part of the 12-point project, has exceeded the 1,000 units target with a total of 1,333 shelters constructed across the state. A massive fruit tree planting program of 1 crore saplings a year has been launched. Agriculture Department has estimated a survival rate of nearly 80%. Local government and Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme play important role in the implementation of this program. A new focal point of intervention in the agriculture sector is the promotion of value-added products through micro, small and medium enterprises units. Besides Agriculture Department, cooperatives, Kutumshri, district industrial centers and local government are involved in this ambitious program, which would generate rural employment and provide additional income to farmers. Animal husbandry is an important source of supplementary income for farming community. Livelihood support scheme under Rebuild Kerala initiative at the cost of 77 crore rupees for supporting the farmers in the animal husbandry sector is being implemented. Mobile tele-veterinary units on regional basis for providing 24 hours veterinary service to farmers to 77 talukas. Self-sufficiency in milk, meat and eggs is also being strived for. New entrepreneurs and farmers are being encouraged through the Animal Resource Development Scheme by providing assistance for undertaking new ventures in the animal husbandry sector, especially in the areas of commercial goatry, male calf fattening units, etc. The veterinary institutions which are providing round-the-clock service are being enhanced by upgrading them with additional shifts. This will be done as part of comprehensive reorganization of the animal husbandry department in a farmer-friendly manner. Measures will be taken to handle the crisis of excess milk in Malabar region and to stabilize the dairy sector in the state. In the interest of farmers and manufacturers, there is a need for appropriate regulation which would protect the interest of the stakeholders against distribution of substandard feed and other feed in the state. For this purpose, a new Cattle Feed Act for the state, the Kerala State Livestock and Poultry Feed and Mineral Mixture will be enacted. My government passed the Kerala Fish Auctioning, Marketing and Maintenance of Quality Ordinance 2020, which aims to ensure availability of good quality fish in the domestic market to provide nutritionally enriched food to the population, thereby enhancing per capita consumption of fish and ensuring health security. A strict emphasis will be given for hygienic handling of fish, marketing, storage, value addition, and development of the total value chain for assuring quality fish to the consumers and ensuring fair price to the fishermen. My government will assist the fishermen for the upgradation of their existing fish boats, incorporating on board slurry ice units and bio-toilets for improving the quality of fish for meeting the export quality standards. As part of my government's prestigious fishermen rehabilitation project, Punargraham, with an outlay of 2,450 crore rupees, rehabilitation of 18,685 families residing within 50 meters of high tide line to safe locations will be completed by 2022. Apart from the individual houses, 772 individual apartments at 92 flat complexes proposed in 7 locations across 5 districts are under various stages of construction. My government will upgrade 4 fisheries technical high schools and 46 schools of the coastal area through the assistance of KIIFB during the year. 60 markets are also going to be renovated. There has been no central aid for seashore protection for the last 1 decade. Given the seriousness of the coastal erosion, KIIFB fund is being utilized for a comprehensive shore protection program. While the construction of new fisheries harbour at Parapanangadi and Chetty will commence during the current year, earnest efforts will be made to complete the other ongoing projects. My government is implementing the fish farming in public ponds project to encourage fish cultivation. The project, which is being implemented by the local self-government department and fisheries department as part of the 12-point program, is progressing well. A total of 8,158 ponds, which were found suitable to have been stocked by the fisheries department, 7,853 ponds were assigned to beneficiary groups by LSGs as on 14th November 2020, and the rest are being assigned. This scheme will enhance the inland fish farming in Kerala, enhancing the availability of quality fish and providing employment and business opportunities. Cooperation. During the lockdown phase and subsequently, cooperative departments successfully intervened by providing food kits, medicines, masks, assistance to community kitchens, uninterrupted service through Niti Medical and Niti Store, procurement of paddy and sugar, interest-free loans through cooperative societies. The major event in the cooperative sector has been the formation of Kerala Bank by merging the state cooperative bank and district cooperative banks. The emergence of a cooperative scheduled bank, currently the second largest in the state, is of immense importance to development of the state. While KIIFB finances large-scale infrastructure construction, the Kerala Bank will focus on financing the entrepreneurs in agro-processing industries and other MSME sectors, natural resources, forest and wildlife. It is estimated that there are 83 plant species in Kerala listed as critically endangered as per the Red Data Book published by International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Species conservation program aimed at the recovery of these critically endangered species are being taken up. In order to effectively protect forest land, it is necessary to seamlessly integrate the forest boundaries with that of the private properties, minimizing litigation on boundary disputes. A pilot project in collaboration with Forest Survey of India will be implemented to digitize all the boundaries of the forest in one of the forest divisions of the state. As a part of protecting our forest, checkposts have been established along the interstate road at the entry and exit from sensitive forest areas, while effectively checking the illicit transportation of timber and other forest produce and illegal movement of captive wild animals and their products. They also provide opportunities for marketing of non-timber forest products collected by the forest-dependent communities and marketed by their Van Smarakshana Samiti. 16 such interstate checkposts will be upgraded as integrated forest checkposts that facilitate transport checking of the forest produce, provide space for Vanshiri outlets, and also function as information centers for the visitors of the state. Close to 9% of the geographical area of the state is being managed as protected areas. National parks, tiger reserve, wildlife sanctuaries, which are abodes of a large number of plant and animal species. Expanding the network of protected areas is necessary for the conservation of endemic rare species of plants and animals, and at the same time for providing connectivity between the existing protected areas, which is an important requirement for reducing the human-animal conflict. Kallar Sanctuary, which provides such connectivity with the Shendarni Wildlife Sanctuary on its north, with Kalakkad Mundanthurai Tiger Reserve on the east and Pepra Wildlife Sanctuary on the south, is proposed in Thiruvananthapuram, Kollam districts. The forest areas surrounding the Silent Valley National Park within the Silent Valley Division provides connectivity with Mukurthi National Park in Tamil Nadu on its north, with Karimpura Wildlife Sanctuary on its northwest, and with Silent Valley National Park on its south. Both these areas will be declared as wildlife sanctuaries after completing the due process of public consultation. The Forest Department has also been actively implementing the 1 crore tree sapling drive. As on 14th November 2020, the department planted 9.13 lakh saplings and 7.57 lakhs have survived. A monitoring mechanism to look after their survival is also in place. Water resources. My government has resolved to develop a fully fledged inflow, forecasting, and flood early warning system under National Hydrology Project, operational in all river basins in the state. In that perspective, the following projects are planned for 2021. Development of real-time operation of reservoirs integrated with flood forecasting and early warning system for Periyar River Basin and real-time decision support system for flood and drought management of Bharatpura River Basin. We have resolved to restructure the Water Resources Department by river basin groups and strengthen coordination across key agencies, including the Water Resource Department, Kerala State Electricity Board, Agriculture, Fisheries and other stakeholder departments and local self-government institutions. The powers and functions of the River Basin Conservation and Management Authority, constituted for the conservation and management of river basins in the state, will be detailed after consultations and in consonance with the existing acts and rules. It is paradoxical to note that the total irrigated area in our state is around 4 lakh hectares against the cultivable command area of 22 lakhs hectares. The time has come for a shift in the orientation of irrigation activities to cash crops without compromising irrigation for paddy. With this objective, the Irrigation Department is focusing on implementation of more lift irrigation schemes in the coming year. Attempts are also being made for the absorption of latest community micro irrigation techniques for improving the efficiency of water use along with achievement of high productivity of crops. My government will intensify our efforts to deepen and widen the leading channel of the Thotapalli spillway from Viyapuram to Thotapalli in order to ensure the smooth flow of flood waters. No, I've got it here. I've got it. Thank you very much. Flood waters from Kutanad to the sea. Also construction of flood regulators, construction of growing fields at Thotapalli, completion of second and third reach of AC canal are planned for 2021-22 with funds provided under Rebuild Kerala initiative. Jal Jeevan Mission is envisioned to provide safe and adequate drinking water through individual household tap connections by 2024 to all households in rural India. JJM is a centrally sponsored scheme with the state incurring 50% of cost. My government aims to provide 12 lakh functional household tap connections through Kerala Water Authority and Kerala Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency during 21-22. The aim of the program is to ensure 100% quality tap water connectivity to rural Kerala. In a major step to resolve the drinking water problems in Sabrimala, Kerala Water Authority plans to initiate a new project to convey more than 10 MLD of treated water through pipes from Sita Thodu water treatment plant to Neelakkal during the Mandala Puja Makara Vilakku season. The project will replace the current practice of plying tankers to carry water to Neelakkal. Industries and commerce. My government has made significant strides in improving the ease of doing business environment in Kerala. My government has been implementing implementing focused and comprehensive reforms in this regard. The three areas of major reforms being implemented are district level business reform action plan, elimination auto renewal of savings services, and implementation of central inspection system. The implementation of the reforms is expected to significantly improve the state's business environment, enhance economic activity, and generate jobs. The Department of Industries proposes to launch an investor-friendly program to attract investment into the state. It is committed to continue and implement key reforms to further accentuate the industrial ecosystem in the state and strive to make it simpler, faster, and friendly to realize the vision of building an investor-friendly Kerala. A special package of relief scheme and financial assistance for MSME under the title Vyavasay Bhadrata was formulated and is being implemented under the interest subvention scheme. My government has been undertaking many measures towards the revival of its public sector undertakings. Kerala State Drug and Pharmaceutical Limited is now working under full capacity and supplying medicines to health department. Kerala Minerals and Metals Limited, a public sector undertaking in the chemical sector, had commissioned a 70 TPD oxygen plant. Surplus oxygen after the captive use is being supplied to the health sector. Research Center for the production of more value-added products from mineral sand will be set up, centering Kerala Minerals and Metals Limited. The operation of Travancore Titanium Products Limited has become smooth after the installation of a neutralization plant. Travancore Titanium Products Limited will be implementing a project for mitigating the pollution and for manufacturing of value-added products from effluents. A research and development center for the development of innovative products, especially in health electronics, will be set up with the support of Caltron. My government has taken steps for the development of Kochi-Bengaluru Industrial Corridor in Kerala for integrated industrial development of the state. Master planning of Palakkad integrated manufacturing clusters in an area of 1,876 acres of land has already started. It is expected to attract a total investment of rupees 10,000 crores and direct employment of 22,000 along with indirect employment of 80,000 in 5 years from the start of the work. The tax revenue to the state is anticipated to the tune of rupees 585 crores per annum. There would be an investment by MSME for the amount of rupees 3,000 crores and revenue from MSME will be rupees 1,400 crores per annum. It has also been proposed to develop a project, namely Global Industrial Finance and Trade City in Ayyampura village, Aluva Taluk in Ernakulam district, in over 540 acres of land, which would provide an integrated ecosystem for development of globally competitive high-tech services, and financial hub. It is envisaged that this project will put Kochi on the global map as a destination with state-of-the-art infrastructure and investor-friendly governance mechanism. City Gas Distribution Project Kochi is an ambitious project of my government to distribute PNG to households and CNG to automobiles in Ernakulam district. 2,616 connections have been achieved by October 2020. Handloom. Handloom School Uniform Project, which was introduced in 2016-17, will continue. Around 5,900 weavers and 1,600 allied workers are engaged in this project. During 21-22, all students from class 1 to 7 in government and aided schools will be provided uniforms. A new dyeing center with modern digital printing facility will be started at Kinfra Park, Nadukani, Kannur, at a cost of 26 crore rupees for dyeing and processing all handloom and textile products within the state itself. The center will have an installed capacity of 30,000 meters of fabric processing per day. A marketing center will be set up under tax fed for marketing of power loom and textile products of manufacturers in the state. K3 Mitra scheme will be implemented in cluster model with the objective of comprehensive development of handloom sector in the state. Around 50 clusters with 200 weavers under each clusters will be formed. The expected turnover from these clusters will be 300 crore rupees per annum. Around 10,000 weavers will get direct benefit from this new scheme. In Khadi village industries, additional 1,500 new units will be started under village industries sector and create 5,000 new jobs. Coir, cashew and others. The target of production for 21-22 is 50,000 tons of coir, which is a 7-fold increase from 7,000 tons in 2015-16. For this purpose, at least 20% of the coconut husk in Kerala has to be processed into fiber in mechanized mills. Mechanization of yarn spinning will also be completed. Product manufacturing sector will also be mechanized. Commercial production of coir, composites and binder-less boards will be launched. The focus of the industry would shift to the domestic market, particularly for geotextiles. In 21-22, the second reorganization of coir industry will be completed. Cashew board for directly importing raw nuts from Africa has been a successful venture. Cashew Corporation and CAPEX will continue to be the main agencies for industrial intervention. These factories will be modernized and expanded. A package will be drawn up for rehabilitation of the private sector. We shall continue to explore the possibilities of joint venture with the African countries in Kerala for processing their raw nuts for sale under a common brand. Bamboo Corporation will be expanding the production of bamboo plywood and other composites. Other cottage industries, including handicrafts, will be supported. Information technology. The backbone of the state IT infrastructure are the two data centers, SDC-1 and SDC-2, and the Kerala State Wide Area Network. The entire system is under the process of revamping, upgradation. In 21-22, the main focus is for the upgradation of data centers. 2,000 public Wi-Fi hotspots will be set up in the state to provide free internet in public places. Implementation of K-Phone project with a vision to ensure last mile connectivity to government, offices and educational institutions in the state, and to provide free high-speed internet connectivity to poor families is progressing well. My government is committed to the implementation of this project, which has become the target of vicious propaganda by vested interest. International Center for Free and Open Source Software is working in collaboration with free software organizations in India and abroad for the promotion, propagation, and application of free software. ICFOSS will be tasked with formulating an action plan on open source technology in collaboration with national and international research institutes to achieve sustainable development goals. ICFOS, designated as the state nodal agency for Malayalam computing, has developed and released 10 software solutions to the public as part of the localization of technology and aims to set up a research center to make effective use of Malayalam language technology in the field of e-governance. The Center for Development of Imaging Technology has been functioning as a technology solution provider in the government sector over more than 3 decades now. In the coming year, CDIT's focus will be on strengthening managed security services and augmented reality, virtual reality facilities, augmentation of research and development activities, upgradation of security document forensic lab, augmentation of video production facility for web channel, augmentation of infrastructural facilities of digital archiving centers in CDIT, and completion of ICT building for CDIT at Thiruvananthapuram. The Electronics and Information Technology Department, along with NIC, played an important role in installation of an online portal, COVID-19 Jagrta. This portal is a single-stop portal for registration of incoming and outgoing commuters in the state, for monitoring the offenses for violation of COVID-19 protocol, and also for people to register themselves if tested positive for COVID-19. The portal also has a live dashboard which details the number of hospitals, COVID first line treatment centers, COVID second line treatment centers, and domiciliary care centers, ventilators, the beds and occupancy on a real-time basis. Promotion of startup shall continue to receive high priority. During 2021-22, we propose to scale up many of the innovative experiments that have been successfully implemented in this regard. Tourism. The COVID outbreak affected the tourism industry severely, throwing thousands out of work and closing down hotels and service operations. In order to help the stakeholders, COVID-19 relief assistance package was announced by the Tourism Department through the Chief Minister's Tourism Loan Assistance Scheme with interest subvention providing for need-based financial assistance and tourism employee wage support schemes in association with State Level Bankers Committee and Kerala Bank. Around 50,000 people are envisaged to be trained under various activities of the responsible tourism mission and will be connected directly or indirectly with the tourism industry to ensure their income. Currently, 6,000 persons have completed their training. Further 40,000 people are expected to complete their training program in the next 1 year. In order to tackle the crisis in the tourism sector, the government has proposed a loan interest subvention scheme in association with Kerala for the employees in the tourism sector. Vigorous marketing efforts will have to be undertaken to ensure that the industry revives to the pre-COVID level at the earliest. The special attention that is paid to heritage tourism will be further strengthened with the inclusion of Thiruvananthapuram Heritage Project along with Muzeris, Elapura and Thalassery. The focus on Malabar tourism will continue. Labor and skills. My government is committed to safeguard the migrant workers in the state. Department of Labor and Skills played a very active role in managing the requirements of the guest workers in the state during lockdown. The detailed database of the workers was updated and the field level officials played an active role in ensuring that cooked food and ration was provided to them during the lockdown. The department also undertook the massive task of facilitating the travel of those workers back to their home states after the railways restarted train services. My government facilitated the return of guest workers to their home states after health screening at railway stations. Due to the momentous efforts of the Department of Labor and Skills, Kerala did not experience any public unrest or the crisis of guest workers walking on roads to go back to their state of origin. My government is keen to minimize accidents in workplaces and an accident prevention through safety surveillance study has been conducted in the state. Goal 8 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals aims to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for workers in the industrial sector. Based on this, Goal 8.8 accident statistics among factories functioning in the state during the last 10 years has been collected and examined by the specially constituted technical experts of the Factories and Boilers Department to minimize the intensity of accidents and to increase the productivity. A mobile application named FabSafe to accelerate the ease of doing business. Initiatives of the state government has been started by the Factories and Boilers Department. A web portal, namely Factories and Boilers Online System, to showcase the important services of the factories and boilers has been in place since 2015. Infrastructure, public works. My government restarted the development of National Highway 66 by upgrading to 4/6 lane across 568 kilometers in Kerala, which was pending for decades. The total project cost is approximately 45,000 crore rupees, including anticipated land acquisition cost of rupees 21,000 crores. While the work on Kalakutam to Mukola stretch has been completed and inaugurated, the work on Thalassery bypass and Mukola to Tamil Nadu border is ongoing. My government is the only state government which has agreed to bear 25% of land acquisition cost for upgradation of existing national highways. After signing of the MOU, my government has transferred 452 crore rupees to NHAI and CALA unit as state share of land acquisition cost incurred till now. The long-awaited and delayed projects like Vaitila and Kundanur flyovers in Kochi and Elapura bypass have been completed by my government. An all-weather semi-elevated Elapura Changanaseri road will be ready this year. The survey works have been inaugurated for the Anakkampoil Kalladi Meppadi Tunnel Road connecting Kozhikode and Wayanad. The 6.8 kilometer bypass for the Thamassery Ghat Road will be the third longest underpass in the country and is expected to be commissioned within 4 years. It will provide a lasting solution to people's long pending demand for an alternative route connecting Anakkampoil in Kozhikode and Meppadi in Wayanad and ease traffic movement between the two districts. My government is in the process of implementing the Wayside Amenities Project to provide world-class facilities along national and state highways for travelers. The wayside amenities will have fuel stations, restrooms, repair centers, food courts, convenience stores for the convenience of travelers. Rebuild Kerala initiative, which is mandated to develop, coordinate, facilitate, and monitor the Rebuild Kerala development program, has mobilized funds from various bilateral funding agencies such as the World Bank and KfW. The rebuilding process under RKI has been entered into the implementation stage and administrative sanctions have been issued for 6,679.20 crores for projects under 11 departments, many of which are now in various stages of implementation. The development of Virinjam International Seaport is proceeding fast, and the port operation building has been inaugurated in September 2020. Government intends to revive mechanical engineering workshop at Kolam to equip it to undertake service and maintenance of port craft and departmental vessels. It is also proposed to develop Adikal port in a phased manner to act as a catalyst for development of the region. The Baypore port will be extended with the construction of an additional berth. Power. As part of the 12-point projects, my government is developing a Nilavu scheme for the replacement of about 6.5 lakh conventional bulbs based street lights across Kerala with energy saving LED street lights in partnership with local self-government institutions. The change will have a positive impact on the environment, reduce overall demand for electricity, and reduce electricity bills of LSGIs. The recurring saving can be utilized for implementing other schemes. Inland water transport. The Department of Water Transport has decided to introduce India's first solar electric RoRo service and Kerala's first amphibious water bus during the year 21-22. Utilizing the potential of national waterways, the department will gear up to introduce barge service for cargo movement. The department is planning to introduce more solar-powered boats. The department plans to introduce more high-speed passenger-cum-tourist services to tap into the tourism potential of Elappuzha, Ernakulam, Payyanur and Kolam. As a step to minimize pollution, the department conducted feasibility studies on electric boat service in Elappuzha region. Kochi Water Metro project has shown considerable progress with the construction of 23 boats of 100% capacity at Kochi shipyard. Other project activities such as construction of 16 terminals and floating pontoons are progressing well. The operations of the integrated water transport project is scheduled to commence in January 2021. Harbour engineering. Suchitwa Sagaram project, which aims at reducing plastic waste accumulation in the sea and conservation of aquatic life from plastic menace, will be extended to more harbors. Establishing and popularizing non-conventional shore protection measures will also be taken up. My government intends to revive the mechanical engineering workshop at Kolam as the first phase to enable it to function as a repairing unit to undertake the service and maintenance of port crafts and departmental vessels. In the long run, the government proposes to develop a ship repairing unit at Kolam Port, seeking technical assistance from companies like Kochi Shipyard. We wish to develop infrastructural facilities at Bepur in a phased manner. In the first phase, it is proposed to undertake capital dredging amounting to 60 crore rupees to increase the depth of the port to 6 meters. In the second phase, my government proposes to construct a 150-meter long additional berth at Bepur, for which preliminary studies have been completed by IIT Chennai. Adikkal Port is proposed to be developed in a phased manner to act as a catalyst for the development of Malabar region. The geotechnical investigation for preparation of DPR is progressing, and it is expected that the foundation stone for the greenfield port at Adikkal can be laid in the second half of 2021. The sand purification plant for purification of manually dredged material started at Ponani under the PPP model has become a success. My government proposes to establish a new sand purification plant at Adikkal under the PPP model, for which the Kerala Maritime Board has entrusted an agency for preparing DPR. Transport. My government is keen on establishing fast transportation facilities to the public, which is the need of the hour. Silver Line, the semi-high speed rail connecting Trivandrum and Kasaragod, is a prestigious project of my government. Detailed project report and alignment has been approved by the state government, and the state is awaiting approval from the government of India. Talaseri, as you like. Okay. Talaseri Mysore Board Gauge project is another ambitious project of my government, and activities such as DPR preparation has been started for the project. Conversion of diesel buses into CNG, LNG, and purchasing of new electric buses within the next 5 years is envisaged by KSRTC. The works of Kochi Metro Rail Phase 1 extension from Peta to Tirupunitura has already started and is progressing well, with the target to complete the construction of Phase 1A by January 2022 and for Phase 1B by July 2022. The department proposed, I'm leaving some paras and then go there. The department proposes to establish computerized vehicle testing stations and driver testing tracks at 75 locations within the state through PPP model. My government is proud to say that we have established the Kochi Metropolitan Transport Authority, which is the first statutory body of its kind in India. It started functioning on the 1st November 2020. The area of the authority will be extended further, and my government intends to establish Metropolitan Transport Authority in Thiruvananthapuram and Kozhikode also. Service sectors, health. Now, from each sector, with the permission, as suggested by Honorable Speaker, I will read one paragraph from each sector. The conversion of the primary health centers into family health centers with additional doctors and paramedical staff lab and pharmacy will be completed in 21-22. The proposed International Research Institute for Ayurveda in Kannur district will soon become a reality. It is proposed to start the construction of an Ayurveda complex consisting of parasurgical and ophthalmology institute and geriatric care center at Pujapura in Thiruvananthapuram in order to reduce the specialty reference to empaneled hospitals and labs. Modern equipment will be installed in ESI hospitals to provide more specialty services to insured persons. Now I come to general education. The pandemic has forced all educational institutions to be closed. To ensure that academic sessions were not affected, General Education Department embarked on a massive online classes program, Kerala Infrastructure for Technology Education, and the State Council for Education, Research and Training utilized the television channel to start uninterrupted online classes for classes 1 to 12. Higher education. In 21-22, my government shall initiate a comprehensive program as in the general education to improve the infrastructure and enhance the quality of education. The classrooms will be digitalized and new building constructed in government colleges. We shall implement a program to catapult our universities in the top ranking in the country within a defined time period. Under the Shri Narayan Guru Renaissance Scholarship, education assistance will be provided to children of widows or those who have lost both parents with an annual income ceiling of rupees 1 lakh for pursuing medical and medical allied professional courses in self-financed colleges inside the state. Marriage grant assistance will be provided to daughters of widows and girls who lost both parents with an annual family income ceiling of rupees 1 lakh. Science and Technology. The Institute of Advanced Virology inside the Bio 360 Life Science Park, Thonakkal, Thiruvananthapuram, commenced functioning on 15th October 2020. The IAV is envisioned as an institute of global standard networking, global virology institutes with most modern laboratories focusing research, diagnosis, and management emerging and re-emerging infectious viral diseases. Under the auspices of the Center for Good Governance at Institute of Management in Government, it is proposed to document and study the various administrative measures taken by my government and the Kerala police in the fight against the spread of COVID-19 in the state. Another project which IMG proposes to take up is a study on the enhanced influence of e-governance, associated problems and prospects in a pandemic situation, and possibility of mainstreaming and sustaining e-governance initiatives in various departments. Cultural affairs. As part of Platinum Jubilee celebrations of SPCs, a literary museum will be constructed at Kottayam and Kerala Culture Museum will be set up in Palakkad. A handloom museum will be set up in Kannur to narrate the history, traditions, and evolution of weaving and loom in Kannur. The Tagore Theatre in Thiruvananthapuram would soon witness a transformation into an info-cultural hub by incorporating some of the best in multimedia technologies to showcase, learn, share, experience, and enjoy many facets of the state's art. Housing. Second phase of Life Mission will commence in 21-22, focusing on landless families for whom multi-storied flats would be constructed. A separate scheme for housing for plantation workers will be taken up. Food, civil supplies, and consumer affairs. During the lockdown, market interventions were done by the Food and Civil Supplies Department to avoid price hike and shortage of food grain and vegetables. The department has also issued free ration COVID-19 kits, Onam kits, and special kits that include all essential items to all families. Free ration and kits were issued to all migrant laborers as well. Local self-government. It's a matter of immense pride that despite the debilitating impact of COVID, the LSGD has been able to achieve many of the targets it set out to achieve at the start of the years. They include obtaining ISO certificate by all but one of the Gram Panchayat of the state. The amendment of the Kerala Municipal Building Rules to incorporate provisions that address many pressing issues faced by citizens. Online social security pension disbursement. The attainment of Suchitva Padavi status by 559 local governments, including 58 ULBs. The approval for a regional sanitary landfill in Ernakulam. The fast-paced progress of the Chief Minister's local roads repair program. The introduction of fish farming in public ponds. The quick and timely distribution of the loans to 2 lakh neighborhood groups. The setting up of over 774 Janakiya hotels and over 5,000 new livelihood enterprises and employment to more than 19,000 persons under the aegis of Kutumshri. The taking up of drinking water project by the Gram Panchayats of the state under Jal Jeevan Mission. My government is also committed to provide good quality toilet facilities for commuters by constructing and renovating public toilets across the state. In this 25th year of the launch of People's Plan campaign, my government will be reiterating the principles that have stood us in good stead and also move to new horizons of outcome-based planning, urban planning, and resource mobilization. Augmenting the capacity of Kila and town planning. My government will vigorously pursue decentralized waste management at source which have already achieved targets set by Harita Mission in majority of the panchayats and municipalities. Land development work of water waste energy plant at Kozhikode has been started. The digitization of the local biodiversity register, the setting up of an online Gram Sabha portal, preparation of a digitized local human resource index will be some of the important digital interventions undertaken going forward. Quality management of PMGSY roads and bridge works will be a critical priority. During 21-22, Kerala State Remote Sensing and Environmental Center will undertake a flagship project to develop a spatial governance support system for the local self-government. My government is in the process of developing a state indicator framework for the sustainable development goals according to the state's socio-economic environmental dimensions, leading to achieve the targets and goals as envisaged by the United Nations and in tune with National Indicator Framework. Smart City Thiruvananthapuram Limited has crossed a major milestone of achieving 100% tendering of all major projects. Kochi Smart Mission, currently ranked 11th amongst the 100 smart mission cities in the country, has bagged the award for the best smart health project. Kutumshri has emerged as a national model for women's self-help group network and played a very important role in providing relief during COVID pandemic and the exit strategy. Kerala State Backward Classes Development Corporation, which provides loans to eligible persons belonging to OBCs and minorities, will distribute 700 crores for 42,000 beneficiaries in the next financial year. My government intends to mitigate the issue of unemployment among educated tribal youth by providing appropriate skill development programs based on the interest and choice of tribal youth. In view of the success achieved by the deployment of 376 tribal mentor teachers in Palakkad and Wayanad districts, the department will place an additional 271 mentor teachers in selected primary schools in the remaining districts. Under the Samuhiya Patanmuri program, 500 new community study centers will be established during 21-22, helping at least 15,000 tribal children achieving academic excellence. The department has been taking conscious efforts to capture sporting talent from the tribal students, nurture and groom them towards sporting excellence. To promote digital democracy, platform cooperatives will be introduced for helping cooperatives to participate in the digital economy. A modern rice mill with a production capacity of 200 metric tons per day will be commissioned at Kanambara in Palakkad by the Palakkad Paddy Procurement, Processing and Marketing Cooperative Society. Punarjani, a new project, will be implemented for the rejuvenation of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe population through SC/ST cooperatives. Senior citizens are among the most vulnerable in the society, and hence they need special care and attention during the outbreak of COVID-19. The Department of Social Justice has taken precautionary measures based on the guidelines issued by my government. As part of the COVID containment activities of my government, the Social Justice Department has introduced a novel initiative, Grand Care Project, for addressing the issues faced by residents of old age homes and for those elderly persons with comorbidities who are in reverse quarantine. The Social Justice Department proposes to launch a portal named Karma Padam for the registration of qualified and skilled people with disabilities, through which they can register their details and employers in the private sector can select the required human resources from among PWDs. It is proposed to develop a web portal solely for senior citizens named after Patricum, in which senior citizens can register and give information about their domain of expertise. My government proposed to implement a new scheme called Parivartanam. This scheme aims to provide psychosocial intervention among ex-prisoners and women offenders. The Women and Child Development Department joined hands with online classes based on 30 preschool themes named Kilikonjal and ensured that early education of preschool children in the Anganwadis is not disrupted even when Anganwadis are closed due to COVID-19. Activities of Nirbhaya program under Department of Women and Child Development are aimed at implementing the state Nirbhaya policy for hand-holding and rehabilitating the survivors of sexual abuse. Recognizing the potential of the gender parks projects and vision, UN Women has partnered with it to upscale and develop the organization as a gender hub on a South Asian, South Indian collaborative basis. My government has plans to redevelop the Government of Kerala properties in New Delhi. The National Building Construction Corporation has been engaged as the project management company. My government has embarked upon a unique project of creating Samuhiya Sannadha Sena. As on 16th November, 3.66 lakh volunteers have already been registered. My government has established the Kerala Youth Leadership Academy and has received over 5,600 registrations. My government has established 79 child-friendly police stations in Kerala. 3 women police stations are also inaugurated in Pathanamthitta, Idukki and Kasaragod districts during 20. The state was always a pioneer in adopting technology in policing. Artificial intelligence projects in the police department will be initiated in the year 2021-22. It is proposed to set up a cyber security center and a virtual police station at Thiruvananthapuram and Ernakulam. Government has also approved setting up of 15 new cyber crime police stations, and they will be functional at the earliest. Construction of new building for district police officers at Elapura, Ernakulam, new district training centers in Thiruvananthapuram, rural Kollam. It is proposed to constitute a new special task force to handle any type of major disasters. Law. As part of e-governance project, digitization of case records of the Honorable High Court of Kerala will be undertaken under technical modernization of judicial system. The Honorable High Court has proposed CCTV at 18 court halls in district complex, Ernakulam and 31 court halls in district court complex. The fourth and last phase of the project of providing infrastructure facilities to subordinate courts is proposed to be implemented during the next financial year. The Chief Minister's Public Adalat scheme has been a big success with active participation from the public. The scheme, which is part of the 12-point project, has seen regular public adalats being held by all districts, with a large number of cases being heard directly by the district collectors. My government will set up Devaswam Tribunal to restore the alienated land of Devaswam boards and proposes to introduce a bill for the same. My government implemented a reservation based on economic criteria by earmarking 10% of the post to the economically weaker sections of the forward communities in the Devaswam board appointments. 1.63 lakh patayams have been issued since this government came into power. My government proposes to distribute 20,000 patayams to the landless families during 21-22. A comprehensive revenue portal will be implemented by the Integrating Kerala Building Tax Online. Fund for 186 smart village officers have been approved through plan allocation up to 21-22. The security and functional audit of IFMS will be completed. The Treasury modernization program with respect to additional facilities in Treasury offices will be completed. The insurance department is being revamped to comprehensively address the insurance needs of the government departments and all public sector units and government-related organizations. The department, legal metrology, the department will implement mobile inspection units for calibration and verification of packaged commodities. Kerala State Land Use Board is providing technical support for the prestigious Jal Samriddhi project implemented in Katakata Legislative Assembly constituency. The department prepares natural resources management plans and eco-restoration plans aiming at conservation of river basins in Palakkad and Thrissur districts with the collaboration of the local self-government institutions. The Department of Economic and Statistics proposes to conduct a survey of the periodic labor force intended to capture data about the labor market, providing the measurement of labor force indicators in cross-classification of age, gender, production, industry, occupation, time, disposition, mobility and wages, information and publicity. The pandemic threw up challenges in accurate and timely dissemination of information regarding the status of disease in the state. The direct media briefing provided by my government on a daily basis, shown live through television as well as online news channels, gave up-to-date, accurate information to the public. My government's attempt to reach out to people at the grassroots level was given a new direction through Public Relations Information Service Management Program as part of the Integrated News Grid project. In 21-22, it has been planned to provide added impetus to this project by enhancing the penetration of information gathering and dissemination by additional deployment of trained personnel who would closely work with local self-government institutions. My government has an ambitious agenda for the welfare of all sections of the society and the holistic development of the state. My government will continue to strive to ensure food, housing, education, justice, gender equality, empowerment, and opportunities for all people. My government is transforming the state for the new age by implementing major projects and schemes to showcase the best of economic growth and human development in India. My government is fully cognizant of the fact that these are ongoing endeavors, chasing an ever-changing goalpost. The pandemic has adversely impacted the progress of Kerala, as it has the whole world. But my government is committed to the dream that is Kerala. We strive to overcome and we shall overcome. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Jai Hind.